So the final topic for this lizard flow sequence series of videos is a little bit of taking some weight training and strengthening philosophy and inviting it into your yoga practice. So this is the bent arm strength protocol, and it can be done to help scientifically build strength in your bent arm position or your chaturanga position. So the way that this works is you are going to set up your bent arm position with all of the cues that we've been talking about, the protraction and depression of the scapula, the external rotation of the arms while keeping your fingers straight, and lower into your bent arm position all the way to the floor until you get to the place where you lose it, where you lose strength and you can't push back up, or where you lose form and you drop your chest, you lose your external rotation, whatever that is for you, where you lose it. And where you lose it is where we want to approach next, but not pass through, because that's where we're going to spend some time hovering in that end range for you for 10 seconds, 5 times. And then we're going to work on slowly lowering all the way through the movement to your end range and then back up for about 15 to 20 second lower. So first we're going to find our end range, then we're going to hang out there or just before it. Then we're going to slowly move into it. And the goal is over time and practice to increase your end range to lower and lower, and then to also increase how much weight bearing you're doing. So you can start this in tabletop, but you eventually want to move to plank pose with knees off the ground. And once you can, with proper muscle engagement and shoulder engagement, move through that entire range all the way to the floor and back up, you've mastered your bent arm biomechanics. You've mastered this pose. So I'm going to show you where I'm at, and you can follow along and then assess and do this where you're at. So I'm going to start by setting up. I'm going to test first with my knees on it, see where we are. I am contracting my shoulder blades, keeping my shoulders depressed, externally rotating my arms. I check in, my elbow pits are pointing forward, and I am going to lower down. Back up. That felt pretty good for me. I'm thinking about finding that protraction all the way down. Feels good, so I am going to try this in plank and see how that goes. If you do this with your knees down and you hit your end range, super. Now you know where it is. I'm going to just do this in plank, and then we will work on the next step. I think I'm going to work on mine in plank today. I feel a little bit of my shoulders creeping up as I get to the bottom, so that's where I am going to choose to focus. So now let's get ready for our 10-second hovers. So set up how you want to, how you have assessed yourself to, and make it to your end range and hover there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. How did that go? Think about to yourself, is it something you can do again? Is there a point in that 10 seconds that you lost it? If so, decide how you want to scale that back. Do you want to be higher, or do you want to put your knees down? Or both. We'll do one more, And then I'll let you do the rest on your own. Setting up, lowering down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So do that 2 or 3 more times for a few days or a few practices. Then think about lowering more. I don't have a yoga block with me today, but you can use a yoga block to measure. So you put it on the highest height and see how far off the ground you are. And that's your measurement. You don't actually rest on the yoga block, you just use it as a measuring tool. And then lower it to the next one after a few weeks and see how that goes. And continue that as you're building your strength in this position. Focusing on strength in this way is something that is not often carved out time for in your yoga class, but can definitely be a part of your home practice, so that when you are in class, you are moving through these poses with more strength and stability and control. And it also is something that we hope to see happen and invited into more yoga classes as well. Okay, so now we're going to move eccentrically through this end range. And so basically I'm going to start in my plank pose or your tabletop. I'm going to slowly count to 15 seconds, and throughout that 15 seconds I'm going to lower to the floor, and then at the end, push back up. If going to the floor isn't in your repertoire, or pushing up from the floor isn't, then go to your end range in that time and push back up. Don't forget to breathe. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And do that 3 to 5 times. I find that when I do this very slowly, I start to feel I'm losing that external rotation ever so slightly, and so I think about correcting that very gently, bringing my elbows back into my rib cage or the side of my body. That's where I'm at right now with this movement. Think going slowly can really help you notice where little things are being lost in the way, or where you're not recruiting or continuing to recruit those muscles, and helps your brain's signal to turn them back on. So enjoy these 2 exercises and ways of building strength. This can be applied to other poses, like we did earlier with our side squats like this. And so find your end range, hang out there, and then move slowly through it eccentrically for 10 to 15 to 20 seconds. It can be applied to so many poses and positions. It can be a really helpful way to develop strength and add to your practice.